Start transmission. This is life signs detected. Transmission ID 2025-T36, a compiled record from the Cultural Research Division, Culinary Desk. This strand detects the life signs of flavor, drawn from its origins, its preparation, and the ways it moves through place. This episode contains 2 field reports, gathered in the same research window. The first follows a bright, sharp note in the harbor air of Brooklyn, New York, a scent that cuts through salt and diesel to reach the hand that will carry it home.
Field Report 1, Key Lime Pie. On Van Dyke Street in Red Hook, there's a moment when the harbor air changes. You're walking past brick warehouses and loading bays when a clean, sharp scent cuts through the salt and diesel, citrus, bright and insistent. It draws you toward a small shop front with a hand-painted sign, Steve's Authentic Key Lime Pie. Inside, the space is simple and practical. There's no cafe seating, no espresso machine, no souvenirs. Just the work of pie making in the air, the warm, grainy smell of graham cracker crust toasting, butter melting and seeping into crumbs, whipped cream taking shape in a mixing bowl. Beneath it all, the key lime filling, pale yellow from true key limes, smooth and cool, carrying the sun of another climate. Each pie is boxed in plain brown cardboard, folded shut without tape. The absence of branding feels deliberate. You don't need a label to know what you're carrying. The scent is enough, sharp, sweet, and impossible to ignore on the walk home. Steve's has been here for decades, its reputation built quietly on consistency rather than reinvention. Locals buy whole pies for Sunday dinners or birthdays. Visitors often arrive with the specific mission of taking one back across the city. In a neighborhood shaped by shipyards and steel, the pies are an edible punctuation, a reminder that sweetness has its rightful place alongside grit. The recipe is loyal to tradition, a custard base of condensed milk, egg yolks, and lime juice poured into a crumb crust, chilled until firm, then topped with fresh cream. There's no artificial green coloring. The true key lime gives a softer, almost golden hue. The first bite is cool and bright, the tartness easing into sweetness, the crumb adding a subtle, sandy texture. The flavor carries history. Key lime pie is more than a dessert. It is a product of place. Born in Florida's coastal kitchens, where citrus met condensed milk in an era before refrigeration. To taste it here, in a dockside corner of Brooklyn, is to experience a migration of flavor, the movement of recipes and traditions along the same currents that once carried cargo. Sometimes a pie leaves the shop and ends up in unexpected places, a slice on a ferry ride back to Manhattan, or in a folded paper bag resting on a bench in the boxing gym a few blocks away. The scent drifts into the air, mixing with vinyl, oil, and the faint salt from the harbor. Even here, in a space built for endurance, that brightness is unmistakable. Steve's isn't just selling dessert. It's preserving a taste that has traveled far to arrive here, from the groves of Florida to a dockside street in Brooklyn, and letting it speak for itself. No decoration, no distraction, just the bright note in the harbor air, carried by whoever takes it home.
The bright tartness of a pie in a brown paper box is one kind of memory you can take away from a harbor street. The next begins in a colder kitchen, where steam rises not from sugar and cream, but from potatoes grated until the arms tire, and meat folded into ovals heavy enough to fill both hands.
Field Report 2, Kartacze and Cepelinai, in the kitchens of Poland's northeast and Lithuania's small towns. A dish emerges that is as much landscape as it is meal. Kartacze in Suwałki, Cepelinai across the border. The same slow labor, shaped by different tongues. The dumpling is large, oval, heavy in the hand, potato grated raw and boiled, pressed together until pliable and smooth. At its heart, minced meat, often pork or beef, seasoned with onion, marjoram, and salt. A filling chosen for sustenance, not spectacle. The potato, a crop that once transformed survival in these cold latitudes, remains the unshakable base, humble, abundant, grounding. The smell of boiling water and wood smoke is the same one that drifts outside, where bare trees and wet earth mark the season. It mingles with the memory of fields turned after harvest, the scent of soil clinging to boots left by the kitchen door. Steam rises in soft curls, carrying root earth and winter kitchens, an aroma that belongs both to the meal and to the place that made it. Kartacze land in boiling water like river stones dropped into a current. Cepelinai, named for airships, seem to float before they sink, their shapes deliberate and dignified. Both demand patience, grating until your arms tire, squeezing the liquid from the potato pulp, folding dough around meat so the seal holds. This is not quick food. It is the work of winter afternoons, when daylight fades early, and the kitchen becomes the center of the house, its heat the quiet heart of the family. Garnishes are small acts of generosity, sour cream smoothed over the top, bacon bits scattered like punctuation, fried onions adding both sharpness and sweetness, or cracklings releasing their salt and fat into the plate. Each garnish comes from work, cream from milk churned and cooled, bacon from hogs kept through the year, reminders that nothing extra was without effort. For those who grew up here, these dumplings are not exotic. They are the steady taste of family tables, Sunday gatherings, wedding feasts, and visits to grandparents who still cook the old way. Each serving is layered with unspoken continuity, a meal served not because it is fashionable, but because it belongs. For visitors, the wait is unexpected, the generosity surprising. These are not appetizers, they are the meal entire. The spirit of this taste is rooted in resilience. It fills more than the stomach. It braces the body against the wind outside and wraps the eater in a kind of edible patience. In warm seasons, the dish recalls the endurance that carried the winter. In winter, it provides the means to face it. On the plate, Kartacze and Cepelinai are simply food. In the mind, they are the texture of a place that values what can be made from what is at hand. In memory, they are heavy enough to stay, a flavor that settles into the rhythm of the land and into the lives of those who call it home.
2 places, 2 kitchens, one bright with citrus, one warm with potato steam. Both hold the same truth. Flavor carries more than taste. It carries the roots it has traveled, the labor that shaped it, and the people who keep it alive, whether in a Florida-born pie resting on a Brooklyn pier, or in dumplings served where the fields meet the edge of the forest. This concludes the culinary desk record for this research window. End transmission.